NASCAR Xfinity Series race officially included from Mexico City, and Daniel Suarez holds off a hard-charging Taylor Gray and picks up the win in Mexico City. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching the NASCAR Xfinity Series race in Mexico City at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez track, the Chilango 150. We got quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about. So let's begin by jumping straight to the end of the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. So for most of this race, it had been dominated by two drivers, Ty Gibbs and Connor Zolch. Those two, throughout the majority of the event, were putting up a head-to-head battle and a head-to-head clinic, and they were putting on a fantastic job. At the end of stage number 2, we got to the late portion of the event, and Connor Zolch actually would have the race lead at that particular moment in point. But then we got to the restart. And basically, Daniel Suarez restarted on the outside with Ty Gibbs on the front row, with Daniel Suarez, of course, being behind him, and Connor Zolch on the inside with William Swalch right behind him. Now, William Swalch, for some reason, would not push Connor Zolch early, while Daniel Suarez gave a really big shove to Ty Gibbs going down the front straightaway. And they'd be 3 wide going into turn number 1. Connor Zolch, unfortunately, make a major mistake here going into turn number 1 and will wash up into the racetrack and get into Ty Gibbs. There will be contact. A lot of guys end up spinning out. Connor Zolch ends up spinning. He collects a lot of guys there in his incident. And then Ty Gibbs had a flat tire going into turn number 1 and got into Carson Quaffle, and a big chain reaction would happen. And a lot of guys would get collected in this wreck, including Sammy Smith and Sam Mayer, Parker Retzlaff, Ruben Ravello, Kyle Seek, Sheldon Creed, William Swalch, Brandon Jones, and Ryan Seek were all collected in the incident wreck. Just a major mistake there by Connor Zolch. Connor's a very, very talented race car driver, but that definitely was on him. He probably should have waited a little bit. That's one thing that Connor Zolch absolutely is going to have to work on, is reining in that aggression, because his aggression has been a little bit too much at times in these events. But he's a very, very talented race car driver, so denying that, I think he had one of the fastest cars in the field, but just a little bit over-aggressive at that particular moment. At point, you got 20 laps, you can get back by them considering he had a really good car. Because of that, a lot of guys' days would be over, including Ty Gibbs. Connor Zolch would basically, at the time, be over, but he actually would recover slightly in the event, and a lot of other guys that were up there contending throughout the day, their chances would be over. Because of this, Daniel Suarez would actually be the race leader after the incident and the wreck. And on the restart, Daniel Suarez led the field from the inside with Christian Eckes on the outside, and Daniel Suarez got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Sage Karam spun out on the restart, but was able to drive away. Meanwhile, the other challenger at this point was Taylor Gray. Taylor Gray had a pretty solid day up to this point, running inside the top 10, and was starting to charge after Suarez. It looked like Suarez was having some braking issues at points and was losing ground. But meanwhile, Connor Zolch, he was coming back up to the front on fresher tires and would charge all the way back on 4 laps from like 25th all the way back up to 10th position inside the top 10 with around 10 laps to go in the race, and was continuing to charge his way up to the front and would get up to about 8th position. Meanwhile, we would see the final caution yellow of the race for kind of a BS caution, if you ask me. Jesse Love would get turned by Sammy Smith going into turn number 2 after some contact between those guys. They had a payback happen where Sammy Smith got into Jesse Love. They would end up spinning out and got pushed up the track, and he would end up spinning again and hitting the outside wall. This would bring out the final yellow of the day. I don't think Jesse Love should have had a caution right there. I think that was a BS yellow, if you ask me. There never should have been a caution for that. Jesse Love could have continued on. I mean, we'll let Christopher sit on pit road without throwing a caution to not affect the cycle, but you're telling me that we're going to throw caution for Jesse Love there? I got to disagree with that call. That was a really bad call on NASCAR's part. And then on the final restart, with 4 laps to go, you had Daniel Suarez lead the field from the inside with Taylor Gray on the outside, and they remained side by side going to corner. Taylor Gray actually would push Daniel Suarez off the racetrack, but Suarez able to continue going. NASCAR would not penalize Daniel Suarez for this, which was the right decision. I mean, he forced Suarez off the racetrack in that front, so I think NASCAR just doing a really good thing by not doing that. And meanwhile, Connor Zolch continue to charge his way up to the front and would get up to 4th position. But that's about where Connor Zolch would get to as his car started falling off, and there would be some contact as well. And on the white flag of the race, Brandon Jones was spin from 6th position entering turn number 1 and would end up spinning into the grass. This would not bring out the yellow with 2 laps to go, and there was some contact as Andres Perez also ended up spinning out in the stadium section. On the white flag of the event, Taylor Gray was coming. His car was continuing to charge his way up to the front, and that car was really catching Suarez as Suarez was losing a little bit of ground near the end. And coming about halfway through the final lap of the event, Gray was gaining a ton of ground. And going to the final corners of the event, Taylor Gray would try everything he could to get back up there to get by, but it would not be enough And coming off the final corner, Daniel Suarez is able to pick up his first Xfinity Series victory of 2025. I believe his fourth career NASCAR Xfinity Series victory as well, and his first win all around altogether in 2025. This is an absolute huge win for Daniel Suarez. And you got to think about this too. He had to take a provisional to even get into this race and get into this event. And he charged his way up to the front. That car was really good. By the time we got to about halfway in this race, you knew that car was going to be good. He didn't have anything for Ty Gibbs or Connor Zilch or even Chris Bell early in the event, but he definitely had a top 5 car. But he capitalized on the guys making mistakes near the end, and Suarez never really made any mistakes in this race, and he was able to capitalize and get the win today. So congratulations, Suarez, on that front. This win is a major, major deal, not just for NASCAR, but for Daniel Suarez's career and also for Junior Motorsports as well, because Daniel Suarez said he wanted to come to Mexico City and he wanted to go win and pick up the victory. And he absolutely did just that, and it's an absolutely well-deserved and win for the sport. And this is probably one of the most popular wins, not just of 2025, but probably one of the most popular wins we're going to see in the world of NASCAR we have probably ever seen, because you had a ton of people that came to Mexico City, came to the race in support of Daniel Suarez. You had a whole country behind him supporting him, and I think that this is a major, major win for NASCAR altogether to see Daniel Suarez go to victory lane. And he's now going to have the chance and opportunity going into tomorrow with a pretty fast car as well that we saw yesterday in practice and starting inside the top 10. This is a major win for Daniel Suarez. Congratulations to him on picking up a well-deserved win and well-earned victory. He absolutely deserved it. He earned this victory, and I'm so happy for him. I've been hard on Daniel Suarez. I keep talking about whether he's going to be back or not with Trackhouse, because there's a lot of talk about that. I think a win like this today will definitely help some of those contract talks and whether he will stick around or not. But for Suarez, this is the moment. Focus on that. Get that win. Congratulations. He absolutely earned this win. I'm so happy for him. The emotion, the fans going nuts and crazy seeing him win. And he's earned this. He's had a rough year this year, so good to see Daniel Suarez pick up the win and get the victory. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at the race results. Again, my score thoughts on today's race. So Daniel Suarez picks up the win. Taylor Gray finishes second. So close to getting that first career NASCAR Xfinity Series win. Fantastic day for Taylor Gray. He ran top 10 the whole entire race. Showed a lot of great pace and speed. Had a chance to get it done. Just not enough to get the victory, but a great day nonetheless. He finishes in second place. Austin Hill finishes third. From having a flat tire with about 30 laps to go, or about 25 laps to go in this race, he charged his way back up to the front and salvaged a fantastic run. I thought he was going to have a chance to go up there and get Daniel Suarez, especially on that late race restart. But great run for Austin Hill. He finishes third. Great run for him. Christian Eckes finishes fourth. A much-needed run for the drivers of 16. It has been a struggle this season for Christian Eckes. There's been a lot of bad luck this year. I think he even has some contact at one point in this race, and he still salvaged a strong top 5 run. Great run for Christian Eckes. Connor Zilch finishes fifth. Considering all the damage that he had at the end of this race, I thought he was going to have an opportunity to go get the victory after all the damage, but he ran out of time to get up there. Zilch still has a lot of work to do when it comes to making mistakes, among other things. He's a very talented race car driver, and this is stuff that he is going to learn as time progresses and goes on. He's had a fast car. I think he had the fastest car today. There's still a lot to learn, and he's got a lot of things he needs to clean up on. He definitely made a mistake right there and caused a big pileup. He was definitely at fault for the incident and wreck. Tough break for Zilch the way it happened, but he definitely was at fault for the big wreck and incident. William Swalch finishes sixth. A much-needed recovery day for William Swalch. It has been a bad season for William Swalch this year. There's been a lot of mistakes from this 18 team, whether it's him or the pit crew, among other things. Today was a really great run for Swalch. I got to give him credit. I think it's his first top 10 since the beginning. I think since Coda earlier this year. So great run for Swalch. He finishes sixth. Austin Green finished 7th. I want to give him a shout out. I had him as someone who I thought could get a top 10, and he came in and got a top 10 finish. A great run for Austin Green. Ran really well throughout the whole entire race. Ran top 15, top 20. Showed some good speed. Great run for him. He finishes 7th. Jeb Bird finished 8th. Quite top 10 run. Not the best driver road courses, so today a really great run for him. Harrison Burton finished 9th. For a guy that weren't even sure was going to post a qualifying lap today was a great run for him inside the top 10, better than Haley Deegan's done, I will say, and good run for him to get a top 10 at a road course. He's been having a really good year, going to have a good position in the points as well. Great run for him. He finished 9th. And Sammy Smith finished 10th. Despite a controversy with getting into Jesse Love near the end of this race, today was a great run for Sammy Smith. He finished 10th. Sheldon Creed finished 11th. Not a major factor. Ran top 10 in points, but never the speed to contend for the win. He finished 11th. Dean Thompson finished 12th. Daniel Dye, who had some damage near the end of the race, He finished 13th. Ty Gibbs finished 14th. He and Connor Zilch put on a great show throughout the day, but Ty Gibbs kind of wrecked Connor Zilch early in the race, but they were able to recover, put on a really good show and battle between those two guys. That was some great racing between those two, but unfortunately got caught up in the late race incidents. I think Ty Gibbs really most of the day was the only one that could keep up with Connor Zilch on pure pace and speed. Just some mistakes here at the end, and Ty Gibbs being over-aggressive at times. He finished 14th. Alex Abay finishes in 15th. Matt DiBenedetto finishes 16th. Chris Wright finished 17th. Hey, he got a top 20. He spun out at one point and still got a top 20 finish. Hang the banner. Jesse Love finished 18th after spinning out near the end of the race. Carson Call finished 19th. He got stage points in this race, so that will definitely help, but got caught up in that big wreck near the end and got a ton of damage on the car. Because of that, he finishes 19th, and Josh Williams finishes 20th. Anthony Alfredo finished 21st. Thomas Annunziata finished 22nd. Sam Mayer, who unfortunately hit the barrier early in the event and brought out the first yellow early in the race on lap 3 of the race, he finished 23rd. Josh Bliggy finished 24th. Brandon Jones, after spinning out late, finished 25th. Brad Price finished 26th. 27th place finisher Blaine Perkins, 28th place finisher Kyle Sieg, 29th for Ryan Sieg, 30th place finish for Andres, who unfortunately spun out. It's a shame because Andres had a really good run going today. He ran top 20 most of the race, one of the most impressive races I have seen from Andres in NASCAR competition. I think he's more associated with cars than trucks, it seems like, because this time in Xfinity, the one race, he's done a lot better than he's done in trucks this year. He finished 30th. Nick Sanchez finished 31st. He had a tire that went down near the end of the race and I think came to pit road with the flat tire because of that. He had a great run going today, but damage near the end cost him a shot at a great finish. Ryan Ellis finished 32nd. Sage Karen finished 33rd. He had a great run going until issues. Justin Allgaier finished 34th. Justin Allgaier had a transmission and axle break near the middle portion of the race. He had a top 10 run going, but the axle broke on the car. Had to go to the garage to get that damage repaired and fixed. He does finish 34th, though. Got back on the track and got some points, but today was not a good day for Justin Allgaier. Parker Reslap finished 35th. Jeremy Clements went off the track early, finished 36th. Ruben Ravello had the track bar break on the car. He'll finish 37th. 30th place finisher Brennan Poole. I think he got caught up in a wreckage incident near the end of the event. And Christobel finished last in 39th. Christobel most of the day was probably the third fastest car in the race, but unfortunately the engine blew up coming to the end of stage number 2. NASCAR maybe could have thrown the caution right there. It is what it is, but nonetheless, they didn't throw the caution, and Christobel finished where he did because of that. So, let's talk about the overall race as a whole, and I'll give my score and thoughts on today's race. I really enjoyed this race at Mexico City. Yes, it was at times very, very difficult to pass, but that's what it is sometimes at road courses. It's a type of track where you have to be technical and really, really good. And you saw some all-time great battles, especially up front and throughout the field. The battle between Ty Gibbs and Connor Zilch throughout the day was exceptional. It was phenomenal. It was really, really good. These restarts are wild and cat, going 3 and 4 wide down the front straightaway, trying to make moves to the inside and outside, just some chaos throughout the event. And yes, the cautions and officiating could have definitely been a little bit better in the race today for sure, but I think today's race was fun. It was really, really enjoyable. It was a really, really exciting race. My score of today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race overall, I'm going to give this race about a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it that much. It was a fun race today. I love road course racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. It was a great race overall and a great event in Mexico City. A big question is, should we come back to Mexico City next year? If we get the travel issues figured out, absolutely, because I think the Xfinity Series deserves to be there. I wish we didn't go away many years ago. I know the economy was a big reason for that many years ago, but the Xfinity Series always put on great shows there back from 05 to 08 when, Kyle Busch won there, Mark Truex Jr. picked up a win, and Denny Hamlin and Juan Montoya won. I think that we need to come back here next year if there's a multi-year deal. I know there's also talk about maybe going to Canada in the future, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed this event. It's a huge win for the sport for Daniel Suarez. I think this race is very fun, and the whole event in general was a really, really fun event in Mexico City. I absolutely enjoyed today's event in Mexico. So, that is going to today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race review from Mexico City. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. List description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's race. Your thoughts on today's race, let me know below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and congratulate Daniel Suarez on picking up the win and victory. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If we have any inspection news, we'll probably talk about this here on the channel. If not, the next time we're going to see him is tomorrow. We're going to have the starting lineup video for the Viva Mexico 250. We're also going to have the Cup race review as well. If any major news breaks tomorrow, I'll discuss it live as well. And then Monday, we're going to be talking about some future on Mexico City, wins for people like Daniel Suarez. We'll talk about people like Haley Deegan, SVG, Carl Lewis, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Preece, Sam Ayers, Sheldon Creed, Cletus McFarland, Dodge, other things like Chicago maybe coming back perhaps, and some other stuff like Denny Hamlin receiving a waiver as well, on Eric Almirola and Chandler Smith, and all the good stuff will be dropping on the channel along with Junior Motorsports as well. So like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content, other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.